Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. How's it going? Welcome to Benja's tarot card reading. I just see one of those cute toys right now. It happens to match my uh, yellow, orange, red, orange theme I've got going on with my fashion and my makeup. Is makeup considered fashion? Maybe it depends on how you do it, your makeup. Maybe if you have a 9 to 5 office job and you're like, I cannot wear bright red orange lipstick to my office job, then it's not considered fashion. Maybe. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Feel free to enter into the conversation. One second. How cute, right? Oh, it's a little dusty. Looks like a little hermit crab. These dog toys are so cute. Anyway, if you're wondering, I've been seeing a lot of cute animals trending on my algorithm, which is great. Well, that's a really cute animal I would love to play with. Anyway, how y'all doing? Speaking of animals, got the Crow Tarot today. Decided to switch it up a little bit. I was going to stick to the Dragon Tarot. I said, you know what, we haven't done the Crow Tarot in a really long time. Might as well just do the Crow Tarot. I'm very familiar with the deck. Anyway, I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all had a great Halloween. Happy November 1st. Is it November 2nd? Happy November 2nd. Just kidding. It's November 2nd. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep this lipstick off my teeth. It might be a problem, an issue, fashion. So if I happen to get a little bit of lipstick on my teeth and I just am a little bit absorbed in the reading and not noticing my teeth, my apologies if that's bothersome to you. Tracy goes to work at 10 o'clock this morning at 10 a.m. at Michael's. It is around 9:15. Anyway, I don't know. I really like this brand, Glossier. Kimmy has them. She's got some other lipstick brands now, but I really like this brand. It's very lightweight. It's heavy on the color, but lightweight. So, anyway, Ben just got his little. He's got a rawhide treat, Harvest Moon. I think is a dog brand. I don't know if it's just where Harvest Moon dog treat brand is, but he's got his little Harvest Moon rawhide. He's chewing on. Anyway, yeah, happy November 2nd. Happy fashion endeavors. I haven't really seen people's costumes. But if you want to know what I would wear, what my costume would be, is I always like to keep in mind the activities that are planned. I say this now, it being like almost 5 years since January 2021. I just have a completely different lifestyle now, but not a completely different mindset. But anyway, Halloween costumes. I would the number one priority would be the ease in which the activities that are going to be participated in. What do I mean by that? I basically mean like grown up stuff, like partaking in alcohol and marijuana. I say marijuana now too. I didn't used to. I used to just call it weed. Anyway, so if you wanted to know what my costume would be, it would be something around um, uh, uh, being able to partake in those two activities, endeavors. So whatever costume was able to do that, I've seen they have this, and also not too fancy. I don't know why. Um, I saw like there's these a lot of masks, right? Um, at the spirit store, like Halloween costume store, and some of those masks, I was like, oh, those are really cool. Those would be quite fun to have or be have a Halloween costume. I have the windows slightly open. Side note. I have the windows slightly open, and there's a little neighborhood cats in the front yard, which I welcome. I put a bowl of water right outside my window. Anyway, 1 second. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. 1 second. Okay. So yeah, Benjo is having a good morning. He has his rawhide now. He's done chewing on his rawhide. He didn't finish it. He's still got some left. Now he's looking outside. We had a guard dog looking outside the window. Benjo. Anyway, yeah, that would probably be that. Really opens up a lot of avenues for costumes. Um, so yeah, something kind of relaxing. Benjo. Something kind of relaxing in the that I could have participate in those two activities. Um, yeah. And also it's the stress level too, right? A lot of the times you don't want to be too stressed about things, and for me that equates to like not going overboard over the top with how I look. I don't mean to make people feel a certain way. But I just feel like that's what Halloween is. You know. Again, not for everybody. I'm just saying my personal opinion. I like when people choose to be themselves and enjoy their lifestyle choices. Anyway, 8.5 minutes in, kind of trailed off there. Okay, so we got a Halloween theme. We've got a yellow, orange, red theme going on. Bright. Yeah. I guess we can go ahead and get started. What spread do you want to do today? Oh my gosh, I don't have the book. The book's over there. Okay. And if you're wondering, my fashion look is to have my hair tucked behind my ears, so we'll see how well that goes. Anyway, 7-card spread. How does that sound? Gypsy had a costume. She was a ladybug. Her mom's dog Gypsy. She was so cute. Benju, no sir, Benju. She was so cute. It's a little ladybug. She had a little skirt and little ladybug wings. I said, Gypsy, if it were up to me, I'd load you up with him parts and we'd go on a haunted hayride or something. I like to talk to her a lot. I like to talk to animals a lot. I don't know. I just feel like there's something there. When you look at primates, I think a lot of people, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people will look at the primates like gorillas, chimpanzees, orangutans, the little monkeys. What are they? Lemurs. There's like a little monkey. I forget what they're called, but anyway, they're like a species that are like really little. They have them at the zoo. Oh, tamarins. They have cotton top tamarins, golden lion head tamarin, goidals, monkeys, which are I think tamarins. But anyway, when people, I think most people, when they see monkeys, which share very similar genetics with us, is I guess in amount, sequencing, frequency. They'll look at the primates and they say, oh, there's like something going on in their eyes. And I like to treat most animals that way. I'll go on my runs and I see like a squirrel running across the road. And I'm like, oh, hello, squirrel. Or like start to climb up a tree and then look at me. And I stop and I look at the squirrel. I say, what are you doing? Maybe I should have been a tree for Halloween and just have all these animals next to me. It just seems like a lot of effort though. But I do have a lot of stuffed animals. Maybe I could just get all the animals, stuffed animals I have, put them next to me. I could be like a farm or something. Anyway. Okay. My sister and my mom are going to take Chase and Michael's. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this tarot card reading started because if I talk anymore, then I should have just chit-chat. I guess if I chit-chat anymore, then I should have just make a separate video and then tarot card reading. Which I could if I wanted to. The swivel chair. Sorry, Benja, sorry. Okay, my chair swivels, but it's not a 360 swivel. Okay. What did we say? The tarot card spread, right? I just got his one toy called Fire Ant. You got Fire Ant? Oh, you got Fire Ant. All right, King of Wands. This is great. Our overarching, overshadowing theme is the King of Wands, very solar, masculine, and of leadership, person of leadership and action and ideas, innovation, travel, spirituality. So we have a very positive card. I wonder if this week we're going to have a very positive reading. Our past is the Four of Cups. It can be a card of depression, but I like to look at it as a card of philosophy. A lot of the times, especially I guess in academia, you study philosophy and it can be quite very intellectual. But here we have the cups and not the swords, right? So the studying of philosophy, like what is life and stuff like that, you can get a little emotional, right? And this subject object type situation, I think, is very interesting. I think for some people, maybe this Four of Cups in the past might not be so pleasant, but I think maybe other people, this Four of Cups can be quite like in their zone, in their lane. Yeah. So in the past, we have for some can be not quite so pleasant. For others, can be very pleasant. Not very pleasant, but pleasant in the sense that it's interesting subject matter, and I guess yeah, interesting subject matter, and intellectually stimulating. Even though again it is the cups and the water element. Um, so presently, this is really great. Presently, we have the Five of Wands. So I guess whichever side you're kind of on with this Four of Cups, whether you're choosing it to be a bit of a depression, kind of a emotionless numbness kind of experience, or one where it's kind of like a roller coaster in the sense that not that you're like that it's uh, go with the flow, but maybe a little bit more rough and not so like pleasant. So whichever side this Four of Cups your personality tended to land on presently. This all the personality types get to converge into a very happy Five of Wands here. Each wand is a different color depicting a different kind of cultural background, and yeah, they're practicing. They're not play fighting. They're honing each other's skills, utilizing the diversity and school of thought and being and stuff like that. So that's great. Let's see what our hidden influence is. The Page of Swords, Energy Storm. I think it's interesting we get the Page of Swords, this hidden influence. There's an intellectual side, communication might be a bit, you know me as your tarot card reader, I'm not really a fan of the pages. So I would say a hidden influence might be an issue with this communication, a bit haphazard kind of communication going on, um, and maybe debate with this hidden Page of Swords here. The fact that it's upright, uh, you know, I guess is a little bit better than it being reversed. I think if it was reversed, maybe it would be that all the more difficult to kind of look past. But I guess maybe just this hidden aspect of this energy storm, this kind of haphazard type of communication going on. Um, maybe I say communication, but it could be logic and intelligence too. Um, yeah. So let's go ahead and see our obstacle. The reverse temperance card. This is very interesting, especially above the King of Wands here. This reverse temperance card, even though you see the water, it is a fire element. Um, so this is interesting. These elements seem to be kind of here we have the water element um, to denote some sort of intellectual capacity. I think philosophy, It doesn't matter how you talk about it. If you're talking about just the subject of philosophy, which could be life, it could be a lot of things. Just sort of this using logic and reason to contemplate an environment, processes, um, so on and so forth. I think emotions, right? Um, excuse me. So anyway, we have this water here that can be utilized very intellectually, which is usually the air element. We have this fire here, which kind of matches this fire here, the King of Wands, very happily debating and improving each other's skills. We have this hidden air element with kind of a haphazard style of communication and maybe intellect and logic. And then we have this Temperance, a major arcana deck card, reversed, unfortunately, which is a fire element, which is might be a surprise, it being the obstacle. Maybe this, um, even though you see the two cups, right? Temperance has a lot to do with the water. But in this Crow Tarot, the element associated with this Temperance card is, in fact, fire. Kind of a bit of an alchemist, ability to temperance can be purity, it can be non-violence, upright, and it can also be this ability to mix kind of contradicting theories, contradicting kind of opposites, and mixing them together in a very happy balance there. But for some reason, we have it reversed today, um, which I think is interesting. Um, uh, it may be likely be because of this hidden influence, this haphazard energy storm that is the Page of Swords, but it might also be this King of Wands here. This is a overarching, overshadowing vibe of a leadership and success. Success also, right? King upright is definitely successful in your endeavors, project, tasks, ideas, completion of a task. Um, so our obstacle here, it might very well be a product of this King of Wands um, type energy and vibe, and yeah. Um, Maybe seeing it as it's reversed, that it's not as pleasant as the upright meaning. But if it's an obstacle for us, I would assume it would be an obstacle for this what I do not like page, which happens to be the Page of Swords today, hidden. Um, so let's see what our outside influences. The Seven of Swords reversed. This is a very interesting card, and again, the air element here. The Seven of Swords upright is a bit of trickery, a bit of this crow just taking whatever he can take, it being swords here, getting away with whatever he can get away with. The reversed meaning of this Seven of Swords is things starting to look up, the situation starting to get a bit better. Um, so I think that's interesting. Again, this I think the theme maybe is this use of the elements, utilizing the elements in maybe a unorthodox, non-traditional type of way, reversed Hierophant type of way. Um, yeah, a little bit more creativity, a little bit more learning with the elements in a multi-use type of way. But yeah, the Seven of Swords reversed is quite positive. Um, and might have something to do with our hidden Page of Swords influence here. So let's see what our advice and solution is. The Devil reversed. Um, oh no. The Devil reversed is addiction, violence, bondage, in an extremely unglamorous way. There's no, the Devil upright is what I just said: addiction, bondage, violence, um, uh, and just the meanings of those words, the feel of those words. I'm not necessarily I'm not trying to be clinical about it, right? Um, the personification of what addiction, bondage, and violence could mean and symbolize. Um, this upright is a bit of glamour, a bit of kind of trickery, I guess, a bit of making something bad seem like it's something good, and something, yeah. But reversed is the spark is gone, the glitter and the shininess and the newness is gone. Kind of can see things for what they are, and they're not pleasant. Um, so I would say a very interesting spread. And again, as far as this, our theme here being the upright King of Wands, I think is very interesting. And I would have to say I'm not too surprised about this reversed Temperance card and this reversed Devil card, considering this upright King of Wands here. A man or woman, but a masculine type of solar energy of leadership and success, is somebody who will take you to the finish line, so to speak. Go above and beyond, successful at what they do, doing the bare minimum is something that this King of Wands is in no way, shape, or form a part of, right? Um, so I think it's interesting considering our Four of Cups past. I think there's a bit of humor and kind of, I hate to say playfulness considering how serious everything is, but a bit of, I guess, humor with this Four of Cups past, leading to all this. So let's see what our the advice and solution is not good as far as getting advice from the devil or anything like that. I would say that's probably not what these cards are saying. Um, this advice and solution, I think, is the reverse devil card being there's especially considering this page. You know how I don't like the pages. I always say the pages are a bit of symbolic of adolescence. It's somebody, as your tarot card reader, these pages represent somebody who's has for some reason the luxury of not knowing things, of making mistakes, of doing things and having zero responsibility and consequences to them for some reason. That's why I don't like the pages. Um, taking advantage of the lighter sides and of life, I think, is what these pages kind of symbolize. Um, So as far as the devil reverse card being advice and solution, I would just say that there's no, it's probably not like taking advice and solution from the devil, but just that this advice and solution, whatever form that might manifest in, is going to be glaringly obvious. This is something, this is the advice, and it looks like that. So as far as us being the protagonist of the spread, obviously I'm giving you tarot card reading. Is you're gonna know what road not to take, right? You're gonna know which direction not to go. This advice and solution with the reverse devil is going to be very obvious in this. As something you should decide to do or not, right? So let's see what the future and outcome is. The reversed emperor. I think this is very interesting. This is also a fire element, if I'm not mistaken. But the ram head, it might be a earth element. I think with the ram head, it's a fire element. Anyway, we have a lot of masculine energy here. Um, which I think is very interesting. Um, it kind of seems like this laying all the cards out on the table is this kind of um, pride of um, uh, I don't know, strategy of fighting. If you're like a fighter, like in that Art of War book, a lot of the times it's a certain standards. There's the Art of War book, and then I have this Grant book. Um, I forget his first name right now. But he was a part of the Civil War, I think, and they talk a lot about fighting in that book too. So I think this kind of very masculine energy is just this very much like Mars, right? This sort of passion and aggression, which is I think our amygdala in our brains. Um, but just something, a certain set of standard amygdala and probably something else in our brains, but this kind of dominating theme of masculine energy is probably just this: you don't fight at night. You have certain standards for of which the fighting can occur. Um, otherwise, it's not really considered fighting, right? And I think this present Five of Wands is probably a good indicator to support that. Um, as far as the Emperor being reversed, um, I would say I would hesitate to have the negative meaning of the card. The Empress and the Emperor, when reversed, have a quite negative meaning to the cards. Um, but I would say, considering the Page of Swords, considering the Devil card, this reversed Emperor card doesn't necessarily have to mean the most negative form of the card. It could just mean kind of a unique perspective. I think it would match this reverse Temperance card. Sometimes the subject matter can be quite unpleasant. But just because it's an unpleasant kind of subject matter doesn't mean that the civilities and approaching an unpleasant subject matter, whatever it may be, has to be dealt with by the worst people in the worst fashion, right? Um, so I think the future and outcome, this reversed Emperor card, I think it looks very pleasant and kind of a sigh of relief next to this reverse Devil card. This reverse Devil card is no muss, no fuss. There's it's good that things aren't glamorized in a certain way, but that also means with that is things can get very dark, and certain people I think have with their experience, right? I think experience is probably really helpful. Um, certain experience and yeah, is able to handle this kind of reverse Devil card here. Um, yeah, not playing around this reversed Emperor card, right? If there's a certain kind of subject matter, it's the Emperor that's going to deal with that, and yeah. Um, So that's our tarot card reading for this week. A bit of a serious um, spread this week. I thought it was going to be so pleasant, considering our first card was the King of Wands. Um, now that I look at it, maybe the Seven of Cards, maybe our influences here are maybe not so good, right? Have to keep an eye out on them. This hidden and this outside influence might be a contributing factor to this advice and solution that is the reverse devil card. Taking things seriously, right? I think is a theme here, which is really interesting. I think the two themes are taking things seriously and the utilization of each element. Um, we have a lot of smart and intellectual logic and reason uses of the elements of water and fire here, which I think is very interesting. And a lot of respect considering our past and our present cards, the Four of Cups and the Five of Wands, and just the intensity of this Temperance and Devil card and Emperor card. We have three major arcana cards today. So yeah, I would say we're dealing with probably things that maybe are not so pleasant, and not so bubbly this week type of situation where things are serious. But the good thing is that you're very serious about the serious things, and there's other people very serious about the serious things. And the good news is serious and respectful, which is good, especially considering I think the lack of respect this Page of Swords can represent, and also this Seven of Swords. Maybe the Seven of Swords is going to be like, well, but I'm your friend. I'm your friend. How can you be my friend when you treat me this way? I think is what this reversed Seven of Swords could quite possibly indicate. So yeah, good news is future and outcome things are going to turn out well and work out well. And as far as intellect and knowledge and learning, I think is definitely going to be present, even though it seems that the air element this week seems to be against us. So yeah, I guess I'll show the cards real quick. Past obstacle of Egypt. Okay. And I will see you all. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see y'all in part 2 for the drawing.